Yo, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check, mic check. You already know who this is, man. If you don't know who I am, when you come in, just let me know if y'all can hear me good. I want to make sure y'all can hear me. Hear me. Can y'all hear me? Hear me? Can y'all hear me? Hear me? Hear me? You know what's early? Let me just do a mic check right quick for everybody to stop by. Come on in. Going to my own live, you know. That thing come up Lochness Sports. It's easy. Let's see what we saying. Let's see. We don't want to be an entrepreneur. Yeah, we don't want to hear nobody else's what's the name. Mic check, mic check. Let's see. Can you hear me? Yep. You can hear me. Should I begin? I'm gonna give it a little bit for everybody to come over here and show me some love. For those who don't know, this is the Lochness. You are introduced into the Let's Talk About It Tuesdays. We already got Caswell. I already said, "What's up, Locks? Yeet, get some." You feel me? You feel me? So, those who don't know, there's a lot of people that's probably over there. The Ladybirds probably for the end there. They're live and they have my people saying everybody come this way. Trying something different. We're having my locks all wild. I think that's gonna be the new look. Having my locks looking all wild. Because they call me the Lochness for a reason. So I need to have my locks showing. You feel me? You feel me? For those that don't know, this is Let's Talk About It Tuesdays with your boy, the Lochness. I'm going to go ahead and start my show with the eyes that are on me. I had 4 eyes on me. For those that's in the podcast world that's going to probably be listening to this on a replay, thank you. Holla at your boy. Follow the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. That's the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. Sub, hit that notification bell, drop a comment, share the content. I am the Lochness, specializing in defensive talk, but I am a part of the AFN, Atlanta Falcon Nation, GSN, Man My Sports, 6-man, Jew. You know, we got a squad. We have a squad. Ah, man. Let's talk about it. Right now, our conversation today. I hate to say it. We gotta take a breath. Good and bad news. Like I said, this is a Let's Talk About It Tuesday, and the subject of today is Kirk Cousins the Atlanta Falcons backup QB moving into the 2005-2006 season? Is Kirk Co-Chain, 2 Chain shouting? Is he the backup going into our 2025 and 2026 season? That's what I want to. That's the conversation I want to have with you, ladies and gents, and everybody that's listening to the podcast. Understand that we are in a predicament. We're in a bit of a pickle. And I don't like. I really don't like where it's going. I really don't like the way it's going. I don't like the way it look. I don't like the way it tastes. Pause that. I don't like none of it. I really wish they would have. And I get it. During the draft is coming up. A lot of teams are going to be focused on whatever they're going to be focusing on. They're going to look at what draft picks they have and, probably pull. Sometimes pulling a young quarterback in this class, I didn't hear any good things about any quarterbacks. Last season had all the good quarterbacks. This season has all the defensive help. So somebody like Kirk Cousins can still be somewhat of value to a team that's not looking to rebuild or look into their quarterback room with a youngin at the helm of the offense. For those that are on here and you can see me, go ahead and leave a message in the comments. Go ahead and holler at your boy. Go ahead and throw a thumbs up. Tell me where you're calling from. I like to know all of those things. All of those things are my forte. So I'm stalling right now to try to give people enough time to come off in here. But the show must go on. We can't, hey, people's gonna drop in when they're gonna drop in. So first of all, we're gonna go ahead and talk about this. It's not a good look. It's not the best look either. The Browns, that's the Cleveland Browns, the place where Kirk Cousins went to go visit. He was seen spotted eating a barbecue, finger looking good barbecue. Maybe going to go see the medical, the doctors up at work up in Cleveland. He was sighted. Kirk Cousins was sighted in Cleveland, possibly visiting the Browns on some business type stuff. But we find out that the Browns signed Flacco. Man, how does that affect Kirk Cousins' value? They said Beer Belly Flacco, Dad Bod. They call him Dad Bod Flacco. That's crazy. Dad Bod Flacco still got an arm that can compete. Still is a starter because I truly believe that Deshaun, he's sitting on easy street. All this guaranteed bread, and you get to be injured and still get bread. That's crazy. So I just feel like Kirk Cousins' value is it's still some teams that need a starting QB. I would say they need a healthy starting QB. Sometimes I feel like it's best if we understand the business side also while being fans of the game. And the business side is Kirk Cousins stunk up the bed. He shit in the nest last year with those 4 or 5 games. They say he imploded. Like, he was looking red hot. He was looking like, man, it's the second coming. We needed him. And then it's like we were 6-3. And then I don't know what happened after that. I guess he was colorblind, I guess, because he started throwing to the other team. He started throwing to the other team more frequent than I've ever seen. I ain't never seen no quarterback in 4 games just look like how he looked. And then I haven't seen a head coach that just allow that to happen. And we don't know how many politics or whatever that had something to play in. Like, hey, we don't pay you this money. You go out there and play. We don't know what's being said. But at the end of the day, him visiting the Browns, Kirk Cousins visiting the Browns, we thought that was, oh, yeah, go up there. Go ahead. I honestly believe this doesn't affect Kirk Cousins' value. I think this really affects Kirk Cousins' contract. It's that contract, I think, that's what people don't want to take on. Like, I'm not going to give you a third round, which I feel like the Falcons are fishing for a third round. And I think that's what Kirk Cousins' value is. He's a third rounder. And then I also believe that because he's a third rounder, he probably would have been easy to come off of, pause, if his contract wasn't attached. You know what I'm saying? The Falcons want you to take up the bulk of his contract, give up a third round, and take Kirk Cousins, who looked like 4 games was like one of the worst quarterbacks in the league. How can we sell that? So with the Browns signing Flacco to a 1-year deal, I think it was like $4 million, which is that's cheap for a Flacco. You got to understand, Flacco has been one of them quarterbacks that came back. If I'm not mistaken, Flacco got like 2 rings on it. Did he get a ring with the Ravens? And then he got a ring with the Eagles, right? So he's a 2-time Super Bowl champion, I think, if I'm not mistaken. That's fine. I mean, we got to look that up. Let's look that up. If I'm not mistaken. So he took over for Wentz and won, I think. And then I think he was drafted by the Ravens, I believe. I don't really follow other teams as much as I should. Like I follow the Falcons. But let's see, Flacco. Let's see what they say. Yeah, 2 times. With the Ravens. Yeah. Yeah, he's a 2-time champion, man. With the Ravens and I think with the Eagles when he took over. So yeah, a 2-time champion with a guy who's Kirk Cousins who can't win a playoff game. A 1-1 playoff game, I'm not for certain. So he's a cheaper route. He's a 2-time champion that can still throw. The Browns has a decent situation around him. So he's already a veteran. They don't really have to do anything but acclimate him to the scheme that they're doing, their offensive scheme, and move forward. I just don't, and like I said, how that affects Kirk Cousins' value is it doesn't affect his value as a starter. I think it affects the fact that he has a contract attached with him. So it's like we're asking for too much for Kirk Cousins. I think that's where we're at right now. We're trying to get people to overpay. Essentially, like what we did. Essentially, Kirk Cousins was our guy. It was unfortunate and fortunate that in our draft, that was one of the top 3 quarterbacks was available to us. Other 2 had already left off the board, and one dropped to us, and we was like, why not? So I think Kirk Cousins' value is not really affected by the Browns signing Flacco. I just think it's the contract attached. That's what's devaluing Kirk Cousins to me. He already feels like he's a starter. He wants to be somewhere where he can start. The Browns, he would have been a starter. Tennessee, he'll probably be a starter. Other places, looking for a veteran quarterback. Kirk Cousins doesn't have a boo-boo arm. He doesn't have a trash arm, but I do feel like we overpaid for Kirk Cousins, and we're trying to get people to take on. We're trying to sell this ideal that this is the guy. So go ahead and take his contract as well. And nobody's picking that up. Or we was going to shop him around outside of the draft, see what moves are going to be made, and then utilize him as a pawn you know. So who knows? Who knows? Because I don't. Next take. Keep receipts. Man, we need to keep them receipts, man. Keep them receipts. I feel like we might can send old Kirk Gold Chains back to Minnesota. It would be awkward. It wouldn't be foolish on our end, but I didn't think Minnesota really wanted to give him up. That's why they did the whole tamper. They was a little salty. That's why they talked about the whole tampering. When Kirk told on us. That was another thing that I think that devalued him, man. This dude, shut your mouth. You was just acting like you're so excited. Somebody need to teach this guy how to be PR friendly. I mean, he was so excited. You know, this man is getting stupid paid. What's up, D. Lahone? Salam. What's up, Lochness? Kirk make you trade a piece on a draft night, which is fine. I don't have a problem with him being a trade piece on draft night, but we was looking. I mean, I know we would have looked forward to going ahead and moving him off, because then that also dictates where somebody can go. Like somebody like Tennessee. People talked about Tennessee. Tennessee can go, okay, let's go defense, and then we know we don't need a quarterback because we're gonna be trying to get Atlanta Falcons, you know, Kirk Cousins or whatever the case may be. I just don't like that we overpaid for him, and then now we're trying to get people to overpay for him as well. I just don't like that at all. I don't have a problem, and I say keep receipts, you know, sending him back to Minnesota, because Minnesota might be like, hey, let's bring him back home. You got a good situation around him. I just don't see. It's weird, but like I said, it's a situation where it could happen. Second chances. But I did speak on this. Since you brought this up, I'm going to speak on this as well. So you said a package trading pawn with what team? I say a trading pawn. I should say a trading piece, but I'm going to say a pawn. But we want to sacrifice him to get more picks. We have to sit up here and say, hey, however much money we owe him, we need to go ahead and say, hey, we're going to take the bulk of his contract. Like I'm saying, if we're going to be losing 25, just say 20,000. I mean, 20 million. We're going to take 15 of that and get somebody 5 in a pick. I think that's what, like I said, that's what's devaluing Kirk Cousins. It's not his ability to play. It's the contract that's attached with him. And I'm packaging him with as a trading pawn, meaning we're willing to sacrifice our pawns. If anybody knows anything about chess, you sacrifice your pawns to basically maneuver and get the things that you actually really want. You know, so sometimes I really don't want to. I really didn't want to wait till draft day to be coming up off this guy. I really didn't. I wanted him going now. Now. I don't know. It's just something about him. I was just like, man, get this guy out of here. Everybody was wearing these chains. Everything's a marketing scheme to me. Until everybody, I'm gonna say how many people be wearing those chains now. See how many times they're gonna see his man Swag Surf. Excuse me. Oh, I must be tired. Tired of talking about Kirk Cousins. But yeah. I just, for some reason, like, what team, what teams have, what team needs a quarterback? What team? Let's see. We need a third round. All right. So, New York, Las Vegas, Tennessee, and it was the Browns, but we can X out the Browns. We can X out the Browns now. So the Giants. Let me see. Oh, and the Steelers. A lot of people think he's going to go to the Steelers. Because they still need a quarterback over there. Which I don't. As long as we can get, like, I believe we're shopping for a third round because we're not even in a third round. So I think we're trying to get into the third round. And then we need somebody to take up the bulk. We're going to eat the bulk of his contract. The rest of it, at least. I think we already paying him the $10 million or whatever the case may be. But packaging him with, hey, we'll take majority of his contract. If it's like $30 million, say, hey, we're going to take $20 million. We're going to eat $20 million. You take 10 and give us one of your draft picks. Or you take Kirk Cousins. No, I can't even see nobody saying, yeah, we'll take all of his bulk. If this dude was balling out last year and we just lost because of our defense or something, which some games where our defense couldn't sustain, but like I said, it's that price tag that come with them. It's all the side effects. Have you ever seen those commercials where they have, this is Zutaped, and then it's like, this is for heart cardiovascular, vessel shrinkage, so it won't cause heart attacks. But all the side effects are almost just as worse as that's the medicine purpose. That's how it is. Kirk Cousins, all his side effects is just as worse as. It's like everything, like, oh, he might be this. Oh, his arm might not be healed. Oh, he might get in his feelings if you sit him down. If he don't feel like he's like, at the end of the day, like, when they talked about him being frazzled about Michael Penix being picked, it was amazing to me. It was amazing to me. It was like, you just been guaranteed all this money and you're upset. And then all of these reports come out when you're saying, oh, I was hurt. I told him, and then I didn't tell him, then I might, like, it's like, what are we doing really? it's becoming a mess. It's becoming a mess. And when the media is affected too, I would say that can devalue a player too. When they feel like, hey man, you got too much going on with you. I don't wanna be, you know, bothered or be in the mix amongst a player that has a lot of PR, blah blah, that follows him. So Sloan said, "Hey, we're going to use him as a trading piece." What do you think? What y'all think? What y'all think? Even if y'all leave comments later on, I would still like to come back and read and see what y'all say. Because is he worth a third round? Is he worth um somebody might be like, hey man, we'll give you a fourth round. You know what I'm saying? You know, it's like, hey, we'll take the bulk of his contract and we'll give you a fourth round. Additional fourth round pick and the bulk of his contract, take that too. Um It's a couple of teams, like I said, it's a couple of teams that's he's not worth the number two. I don't see if I could see us giving up a future pick, not a first round, but a future pick, Kirk Cousins, in the third, and receiving a third round or a late two. I can see us doing that. I can even see us packaging Kirk Cousins with Algier, and with a team that needs a surefire RB1 and a veteran quarterback that still got, you know, a little tread on his tires, or still got a little fuel in the tank. Pause that. That's really not a pause, but you know, people just twist words. People twist stuff anyway. Everything sounds like it should be a pause moment. You know, everything does. So I just honestly feel like whatever team we shop him to, we have to be trying to get into the third round, a round where I mean, if we can go two, if we compare him with Algier and Kirk Cousins, hey man, who knows, man, if we don't throw a Kyle Pitts, Kirk Cousins, and an Algier in the mix and come off with a late round two, early round two, 30, let's see, the 33rd, 34th pick or something like that. Or a later round, like saying, a lot of people say, hey, you know, Kansas City, the Falcons give Kyle Pitts to Kansas City for their first round 31st, whatever they had, and then give them a later round pick either this year or give them an early round pick next year and Kyle Pitts. Like we gotta be all in. We gotta be all in. Like if we can go ahead and get, I would say, an edge rush on our 15 more players. 15 more picks later, we come back with another defensive player, which will probably be a safety or a cornerback. Why not? Or get back into the first round and get a defensive and an offensive player. Why not? Because I just feel like it is necessary. It's almost necessary, everybody. But I think packaging Kirk Cousins with, like I said, Algier is clearly better than Najee Harris. I think that's over there in the Steelers. No, Najee left, didn't he? I gotta look that up. Like I said, I don't follow these teams as much as I should. I see a little bit of stuff, but I think Najee left. No, he's still with the Steelers. Yeah. So go Najee Harris and Algier. You give up Kirk Cousins and Algier to the Steelers. Receive whatever pick they have. Well, if we give up Algier and Kirk Cousins, and they take the bulk of his contract, they take the bulk of his contract. Yeah, I can see us getting a second round for that. And then giving Kyle Pitts up for a late round. Like if Kansas City want Kyle Pitts because they clearly use tight ends. Clearly. And he could probably go to Kansas City and ball out. You know what I'm saying? Some people even saying we doing a swap. You give us Kelsey. You give us a Kelsey. And like I said, Kelsey, I wouldn't. I'll take a Kelsey just because he's been like one of the. It's like almost taking when Gronk retired and came back. It's almost like, hey, Gronk could come back one more year for Tom Brady, and it's just like, why wouldn't you take that? You know what I'm saying? So why wouldn't we take a Kelsey? Why like we took a Gonzalez? It's like them Kansas City people, where we'll take them quick. So I do feel like Kyle Pitts is going to Kansas City. Kyle Pitts is going to Kansas City because they trying to get, younger, faster, and they use their tight ends. And that's where he's somewhere where he can flourish because he's going to be the focal point of the offense. And they really didn't expect Kelsey to block as much. He was just big, so his body was blocking everybody else out of the way. So that's a possibility. Like I say, sometimes people need a fresh start so they can flourish and do what they need to do. So let's talk about this. Let's talk about if we keep him. What is the worst that can happen if we keep Kirk Cousins? Like, what's the worst that can happen? Like, do we feel like, honestly feel like if we kept this guy, it's not going to be the end of the world. It's not going to, we'll just have a good QB2. Do he want to sit behind a Michael Penix Jr.? But what if he sit behind Michael Penix Jr. just for the sake of argument? Knock on wood. Michael Penix goes down with an injury, mild, whatever. And then Kirk Cousins comes in and balls out. Then it's like, okay, where was it? People will be like, they won't be happy for him as much. They'll be like, where's this Kirk Cousins at from last year? What happened in them 4 or 5 games that you played and you was just like trash? Like, what happened in those games? The defense didn't help him out either. Let's just be real with you. Like, our defense didn't help out a lot of games. Because each the offense helps the defense helps the offense, the special teams helps both sides. You know what I'm saying? So special teams, we just wasn't, I don't feel like we were a complete team. We were coaches away, we was undercoached. It wasn't the personnel, it was the coaching. Hopefully it is coaching, time management, situational, awareness. It was so much that we could probably say that didn't happen. But at the end of the day, hey, moving forward. But like I said, what's the worst that can happen if we kept Kirk Cousins besides that? Hopefully he'll get more healthier. Maybe he won't play with a chip on his shoulder. We already paying him. When he'll be like one of the better QB2s. He'll be one of the better backups. He'll probably feel salty that Matt Ryan is in amongst in the trenches with Michael Penix teaching him the ways, and Kirk Cousins might have something to say about that. But yeah, this is gonna be like a short show because I don't want to keep beating a dead horse. I don't really want to keep beating a dead horse in the ground about Kirk Cousins. Like, we know we want to get rid of him. We know we want to talk, oh, we're so sold on Kirk Cousins. He's our guy. We want to bring up his value. We're going to shop him around. We might package him with an Algier. I think who do Kansas City got? Pachinko? Kansas City. Package a Algier and Kyle Pitts to Kansas for their late first and they third. I don't know, man. Like I said, there's so many scenarios that can happen. I'm about to do a mock draft. I haven't did any mock drafts. At all. I didn't do any mock drafts this year. I think I'm gonna do a couple of mock drafts where I package these guys and see how it looks on each. This is a slow day today. What I did today. So anybody that's looking at me, do we have any questions? I'd like to answer some questions. How do y'all feel about Kirk Cousins? How do y'all feel? Was it a slap in the face when y'all seen the Browns sign Flacco? We thought we could almost taste the victory of getting rid of this guy. It's like so many people want him gone now because of, but the same people was going to go buy all them chains and stuff. Is what it is. Is what it is. Can't tell you. Yeah, a lot of people was buying all those chains, loving him. We love you, Kirk. Dude was a tall dude. Like when I stood near him, Kirk Cousins was a tall guy. We just couldn't see. I don't know, man. It was crazy. He was at the draft party, and then when they picked up this guy, I know he was like, "What? Like, what are they doing?" I just feel like, man, it was just we're trying to better our team, and I honestly feel like if we're going to lead by example, and we're trying to win now, we got to give up. We can't be married to these pieces like Blackberry was talking about. We can't be married to these players, man. It's like we got to give up the players to get better result, get better plug and play players that can fit our scheme and what's going to help us now. Because if we don't, then what are we doing? Like what's the purpose? Like, are we trying to win? It's like they say we have a win now mentality. And to see somebody like a Grady Jarrett, a hometown hero, get sliced off, just, and I think it's because of money. And when you look at production, it's like, hey, we can pay people less and get the same results. It's just he wasn't otherworldly, like, he was a hometown hero, man. Like, and in business, it's business. Like I said, and like how it works with Kirk Cousins is you stunk up the bed, bro. You got a grievance. I believe you had a little grievance, a little salty that they drafted Penix. You stunk up the bed. Like if we would have, like I said, if we would have won 2 of those games and we lost 4 in a row, we won 2 of those games. I believe we would have been having a different conversation. Like we did improve to 8 and 9, but from that 7-10 slump. But so this year we should be heading up. Okay, what was the reason why we lost those 4 games? Like besides the interceptions, like what can our defense could have done? So let's go ahead and shore up our defense. That's my mindset for this draft. Let's shore up our defense. Let's make it to a point that you can't say, "Hey, it was our defense was the problem." I remember they were talking about getting Leonard Floyd last year. This is his name, Leonard Floyd. Leonard Floyd. Like who is it? Like getting that edge rush. People, we did. I got people hitting me on the back end. That's funny. That's funny. Yeah, I mean, for sure, for sure. At the end of the day, it's room for improvement. It's room for improvement. It's room for improvement. So at the end of the day, man, I can only be optimistic about my team. And if I feel like honestly, if we're going to win now, have that mindset to win now, then we got to be willing to, move pawns, sacrifice our pawns to get checkmate. I just honestly don't feel like we shopped around. We made our budget buy. We always have budget buys. That's what I don't understand. Like we always have these budget players, and then we get people on some prove it deals. If we bring, I think they're talking about bringing back Simmons. And who else? Somebody else. Let's see. They're talking about bringing back Simmons. Now, put your comments in the chat. Don't send them to my phone. Put your comments in the chat. That's what I'm saying. So Justin Simmons. Is he returning? I think they should bring him back. I don't think. Oh, there we go. That's what I like to see. Good evening. Yeah, but I like to see. They can bring back just. It's like if we go ahead and bring back these other budget people, these budget buys, then we can go all in on edge. We can go all in on interior linemen. We can go all in on a defense like a middle linebacker that can a coverage middle linebacker that can be the mic and also coverage in between the defensive backs and the line, the middle of the field. Well, we was giving it up. We was giving it up. Understand me? We was giving it up. We can go all in. I don't feel like we need to go all in on it. I said we need to y'all get ready for this wide receiver. But I think we honestly just need, and that's what I understand. Like they said Braylon Trice, he's known for pushing the power. He's known for, like I said, he still got to come into his own. So that's what I'm saying. Like we still Rook, a Roro, Rook, his name. Like He still got to come into their own. These players we still got people from last year that got to come into their own. So it's like I'm sold on getting another interior lineman to push the pocket. I'm sold on getting a disruptor in the middle. I'm sold on getting a linebacker that can coverage besides Divine Diablo. Even another corner. But that's what people understand. We can keep our corners that we have, and as long as we get some disruption on the line, that softens up how you have to play. Because they was having 1-step, 2-step drops, boom, middle of the field, 2-step drop, middle of the field. We need to clear up that middle of the field. But anybody have any questions before I get up out of here? I wanted to give y'all at least 30 minutes. I gave you 45. Then I got people hitting me up talking about how we lost. She must be fulfilling. Some people when they win, they want to talk junk to you. But if they team lost, they ain't got nothing to talk about. They'll talk about something. Well, they'll bring up that 28-3 or whatever it was. They'll bring up something. But yeah, like if we don't have any questions, like I said, I appreciate everybody for stopping by. And your boy, the Lochness Podcast. Well, like I said, it was a simple show, like a little simple show about Kirk Cousins. And it was kind of a stopping. I don't know. I just felt like, dang, gosh darn it, Browns. But we still got the Giants, which they're going to probably take Sanders, I think. Probably. I don't know. Still got Steelers, Giants, Titans. We can. I don't think we can get that first round pick. I'm gonna do a mock draft. We're gonna find out. I'm gonna see what they're gonna go for. What we can give up to go for that first round pick. And everybody's saying they're getting Abdul Carter. Saying if you give up Kirk Cousins, Algier, and our first round pick from next year, for their first round pick for this year, take a Kyle Pitts and give it to. We get they first, and we no. We get they first. We give them Kirk Cousins and Algier. We get they first. We give them our 15, and then we give them a future pick for next year. Then we take Kyle Pitts and trade him to Kansas City, get they first one this year, and give him a pick. Switch one of our picks for their pick. I don't know. It's something. We finna find out. We about to find out what we can do. I want to know. I'm like, Joe, I want to know. But it's like my thing is static, and I don't know if I can hear it. But yeah. But yeah, you can follow me on the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. That's the Lochness Podcast on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, sub to my channel, not just AFN. Sometimes you have to go on the individual channel, because everything I do on my channel don't always go to AFN. Just FYI. So once I started back doing my movie reviews, I was going to do one on Captain America, and I would say the Emasculation American. I'm not gonna do that. How they just I'm not gonna talk about that. How they just did my boy, and then him having them PR, having those conversations when they asking him about how to be an American. When did they? That was a trigger. Like they do trigger conversations. They had these trigger interviews. When did you see them ask Chris Evans, how does it feel to be Captain? How does it feel to be Captain America? How does it feel to be an American? They ain't never seen Chris Evans. Ain't never came down and said. I don't recall them having an interview with him like that. Let's get up out of here. Get up out of here right now. Not now, but right now. But yeah, I am the Lochness. This was the Lochness Podcast. Like I said, it was a short show. We was just talking about keeping Kirk Cousins as the backup, moving into the, like, what if we did? Or what if we didn't? So I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Shout out to the team, the squad. Check out everybody from AFN. Check out everybody from GSN. All up under the same umbrella. Man, my sports, Jew Tosses, man, all my guys. Magnus on Saturdays, Coach Unchained, Blackberry, Will the Reaper, One the Therapist. I mean, check us all out. Who's going to be at the draft party in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium? I want to know. I would like to know who's going to be there, because I know AFN going to be there. So if I'm not mistaken, a couple of players, a couple of people, a couple of podcasters, a couple of creators are going to be there from AFN. We'll meet y'all, take pics, shake hands, throw the deuces, wear the red and black, you know what I'm saying? Support the squad. If you're going to be there, just leave it in the chat like, hey, we're going to be there. You know what I'm saying? Maggie Fontenot going to be there, I'm pretty sure. I seen her last year, so we was all together. Will was there last year. Maggie Fontenot was there. Who else was there? It was a few people that was there from the squad. But I appreciate everybody for stopping by. This is the Lochness. Until next podcast, I might start doing something in the morning too. People have liked me doing stuff in the morning. So I do appreciate everybody for stopping by. Like I said, if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, like, thumbs up, share the content, leave a message so I can get my name, my show, grow my channel, and let the algorithm pick me up and spread my videos, my content to more people, to more Falcons fans or Falcons haters. Like I said, hey man, stay litty. We lit, we live, we out here. You think I was gonna forget that? I ain't been saying it, so I brought it back. We lit, we live, we out here. What's happening?